Okay, Space Astronauts, it is official. Revin, the Red Cube, is no more in Fortnite OG Season 5. On September 28th, 2025, you can see he took a header off the dock over at Loot Lake and then melted like a sugar cube into some coffee, although I don't take sugar with my coffee. I don't know about you. But he melted into Loot Lake and dissolved in a kind of steamy, fiery, bubbly mess. Well, I didn't notice those bubbles before. This is all from Fort Tracker because I was out shopping, like I mentioned, and I'm super bummed that I missed it live. And this was really interesting because it seems like it's kickstarting not just the next season of Fortnite OG, Season 6, but also like a spooky period because we're coming up on Halloween and Fort Nightmares, and it is mirroring stuff that happened in the original Chapter 1 Season 5, and we're going to talk all about that, as well as some really weird stuff with the moon and the bunker and what all that might mean going forward. But you can see here in this Fort Tracker video, the Revin Cube just slowly sinking in. People are walking around in the water still as it kind of slowly slips away, and then pretty soon it's going to come up right about, it's coming, wait for it, everything's fine, right? No! Now it's all super bouncy. So it turned the lake into jello, very much like it did back in the original Season 1. This is from Tabor Hill, when Kevin the Cube bounced in, and then it turned it all into like a super bouncy pad. Although now, you can see here, this is me visiting it, and when you bounce on it, it gives you the chili pepper effect, which is what Revin did when he first arrived in the game. So I don't last very long, by the way, because I just did not get lucky with the drop. That's a hot drop, and then there are hot drops, and this is one of them. R.I.P. me, number 99. Wow. But you know, earlier in OG Season 5, that was when Revin, I guess we're calling him the Red Cube, arrived. It came out of the big rift in the sky. And this is just a replay of how that all happened. There was a lot of lightning, a lot of fire, and then there it was. And you could fly down on it, you could bounce on it. I think I've got some video of that too. And you know, in the original Chapter 1, Season 5, this was the event that really kickstarted, right, the story after the rocket launch. There was the rocket launch, and then this happened. The rocket, you know, started to crack in the sky. And what we're seeing in the OG seasons are a bit of a replay of those events, and this was a lot of fun. Everyone is trying to bounce on it. I think it made a rift too, if memory serves. Like if you shot it or something, you would rift up into the sky. It was a pretty good for mobility, but you really had to make an effort to attack it. Why would we attack the cube? He's adorable, right? There you go. There's the rift all the way down, and it's all red too, which is weird. The original Kevin came out of a blue rift in the sky, and not so much with this one, because as we see everything in the OG seasons, all the live events, it's all been super, I guess, corrupted. And again, from Fort Tracker, we did see, you saw that Kevin, or Revin, I keep saying Kevin, arrived out in the desert biome, but over the course of the season, it did move around the island. I actually got to see some of these in real time. It was a lot of fun, leaving some ruins as well. As it meandered around, there's a ruin that it left, and it created like this weird magnetic field. You can kind of see some red lines in the background. And here it is, even going through tilted towers, slowly, block by block, literally block. I guess it's a big square, you know, as it heads on out. I love that ripple effect of the ruins that are on it. So, and this is the path that it actually took across the island. So I couldn't make any sense of this aside from, I guess, Revin being interested in all the sites. You know, it went all the way through from the desert biome into the forest, and then it kind of took a big looping way around. And each of these circles is where it laid a rune. I think there were like 7 of them overall. And then there's this one in the middle that I think is really interesting because it seems like that might be like a source of interest going on. It's weird that it's right smack in the middle, but it went all the way through and around the island until it made its way around kind of in a big spiral to Loot Lake, and then splash, there it goes, right in there, you know, does its diving competition or whatever. And like I mentioned earlier, you know, in case you missed it, back in OG Season 4, that's when we recreated the live event with the rocket launch. This was the first live event that Fortnite ever had in Chapter 1 season 4, and so they kind of recreated that with the rocket launching. I guess the Visitor created this one, and again, we still don't really know what the reasoning is for some of the differences that we're going to see. In fact, right now we're going to see, I believe, the rocket kind of fly all around the island. Here it comes, zooming all the way down. We think it's going to smack in the tilted towers, but no, it goes through like again, here it's the blue rifts, right? So this is all just like the original chapter 1 events happen, where it goes through the blue rifts and then it flies around the island, kind of making a big circuitous tour as it accelerates to, I guess rift speed, dimensional traveling speed, and then it's gonna head straight on up. You're gonna see it into the sky and create the sky rift, just like in chapter 1 season 4, right? Well, not quite. We actually saw in this one here all the way up, and there it's a red rift. Now, we saw this during that live event, and this is the rift that Revin came out of. The storm had closed by the time he arrived, so you couldn't see the rift itself, but the lightning came out of that rift. And this is all combined with this really strange thing with the moon. This is Restro, the lore master himself, who has been tracking this weird issue with the bunker and the moon in OG season 5. And the moon turned red, I guess, on September 18th, and then it turned purple, and now it turned pink. And at the same time, you can see that the bunker, like there's a bunker on the island, they also transformed to corresponding colors. And that's really strange, because I don't know what that means, but I do know that there was a lunar eclipse, which a blood moon is usually from, in September, but it wasn't on the 18th. It was actually on September 7th. And, this is just a look from space.com of like awesome photos from that lunar eclipse. Pretty slick. It was visible across, I guess, Europe and that whole side of the world. I missed it because it was daytime in the US. But one of the interesting things is that the bunker lights are changing too, and in season 4 of OG, they were flashing in Morse code that said something is wrong, or I think it was something is wrong. And I think what we're doing is we're leading into OG season 6, where Revin is going to return. This is the original trailer for chapter 1 season 5, after Kevin melted into the Loot Lake, and you can see here that he did return for that Fortnite season, coming up out of the ground, lifting the house at the center of Loot Lake into the sky. And then I believe, just like in the previous season, he wandered around the island, hovering over the ruin spots, and slowly had those map changes over time. Look at that skull trooper. I would like some popcorn right now. But isn't that iconic? Wouldn't it be awesome to see that live in OG season 6? So this was called Darkness Rises, and I guess we're going to find out what OG season 6 is going to be called. What's interesting is that this changeover in the OG seasons is coming around Fortnite, and we know that there's a lot of cool stuff coming for that, but the Battle Royale season does not line up with the holiday, because it goes all the way through November. So it seems like Fortnite is really going to be kind of an OG Battle Royale crossover. Of course, we got pets and a lot of some iconic skins in that OG Fortnite. So it seems like a bunch of lore things are afoot, and what we're going to see from this I guess, what do you call it, a transformation, this dissolving and rebirth of Revin, the Red Cube, is going to really push the OG story lore season going forward. But the fact that this is happening around Fortnite, and we know that there's Fortnite stuff coming to Battle Royale, makes me wonder if they're going to slowly kind of wind together the storylines from OG. I don't know why I'm dropping frames here, and the Battle Royale mode. So again, this is just me skipping and jumping. Have fun while you can on Loot Lake, because it is going to be gone eventually once the Revin Cube lifts up that central island there. Look at the gold. This is the really weird thing when you jump on it. There's like some gold coming out too, which I'm not sure if that was around right during the first Kevin experience. I'm trying to get on this boat. Come on, you can do it. I feel like this is taking an embarrassing amount of time. There we go. Wonderful. So it does seem like the storyline is in full gear. There's the pier over there where Revin took its dive off of. R.I.P. Revin, we hardly knew ye. You know, it was fun watching you travel around the island. Don't dance here. You know, the other one, it says no swimming, but now it says don't dance. And it's very interesting to see like what's going to happen for the rest of the, I guess the rest of the year as we move into OG Season 6, what the skins are going to be, and what Fortnitemares is going to bring. I hope that there's another vampire, or not vampire, werewolf skin. That'd be kind of fun. But let me know what your thoughts are of Revin's disappearance, of the full moon changing colors, and those lights themselves, what they all mean. I have no clue. I just don't understand, and I'm here for it, to be honest. I'm really excited to see what happens going forward. So let me know your top theories in the comments below, and thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate you and your time. If you like this video, hit that like button, subscribe if you'd like to see more, and I will catch you all in the next one. So do stay safe out there on the island. Watch out for Revin the Red Cube, because I think it's coming back in a very uplifting way, if you get my meaning. And I'll see you next time, so don't get lost in space.